I am Mika Lloyd C. Escosio.
I am Trixie C. Alcantara.
I am Joanne S. Bulaton.
I am Clarissa May Kayabia. I am Blazin D. Islam.
I am Santa Lourdes A. Perez.
I am Diana Rose T. Ramos.
I am Camila O. Soriano.
With every step we take on this journey,
It leads the way
into the heart of education.
A lesson plan without a strong foundation is like a ship without a rudder. A lesson plan, on the other hand, is a well-designed roadmap that guides teachers through the enchanted realm of learning. It is a blueprint that outlines what students will learn, how it will be taught, and how it will be assessed. In a nutshell, it is considered as the foundation of good teaching. This video is associated with and focuses on the fourth domain in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, the Domain 4, Curriculum and Planning. Domain 4 addresses teachers' knowledge of and interaction with the national and local curriculum requirements. This domain encompasses their ability to translate curriculum content into learning activities that are relevant to learners and based on the principles of effective teaching and learning. It expects teachers to apply their professional knowledge to plan, design, individually or in collaboration with colleagues, well-structured and sequenced lessons. These lesson sequences and associated learning programs should be contextually relevant, responsive to learners' needs, and incorporate a range of teaching and learning resources. The domain expects teachers to communicate learning goals to support learner participation, understanding, and achievement.
lesson planning allows the educator to provide the learners with the required structure and direction to receive knowledge and skills through engaging methods of instruction. Similarly, it allows educators to meet the diverse learning styles of learners through differentiation of teaching. When we refer to a lesson plan, it is the teacher's compendium of what students need to learn and how it will be done effectively during the class time. It also involves designing and incorporating appropriate learning activities and strategies to obtain substantive feedback on student learning. A well-constructed lesson plan prepared by a teacher for a particular lesson allows him or her to enter the classroom with more confidence and a greater possibility of having engaging activities that will result in a meaningful learning experience with students.
Lesson plans are essential because they provide each lesson structure and a feeling of purpose. A well-crafted lesson plan functions as a roadmap for teachers, providing them with a clear sense of purpose and direction for each lesson. Without a lesson plan, teachers may meander through the topic or worse, completely overlook essential elements. However, when teachers take the time to plan each lesson, they can ensure that their students have a positive and a productive learning experience. Many teachers find that a lesson plan also gives their teaching the structure it needs. Therefore, creating well-designed lesson plans can make your classes more enjoyable, help you get organized, and improve student learning.
In this segment of learning experience, you will be introduced to several lesson plan exemplars, allowing you to study its part and purpose. There are various lesson plan formats that teachers use in order to teach effectively in class. This format of lesson plan can vary significantly based on the teaching approach and educational goals. Based on the sample provided by our instructor, there are 3 different lesson plans and each of them has its own distinct model and purpose. These are the 5A lesson plan, traditional lesson plan, and Australia lesson plan.
The 5E model is an instructional model in which students learn in 5 phases: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. The model encourages learning in a linear fashion, with students moving from one phase to the next. The 5E model is a planning tool for inquiry teaching that provides a structure for students to connect learning to new contexts. The 5E model comprises 5 phases that help teachers build a sequence of coherent and engaging learning experiences for students.
So, let's take a look at how the 5 phases or stages of the 5E lesson plan model work.
In the first phase of the learning cycle, which is the engage, instructors open a lesson with an activity or question meant to engage students. Snag their interest and offer the opportunity for them to share what they already know on the subject. This phase might include helping students make connection between their pre-existing knowledge base and the new ideas that will come down the pipeline in the lesson or unit.
After engage comes explore, in which students carry out hands-on activities. Through their experiments or other interactions with the material, they deepen their understanding of the content. The explore phase is often interpreted by educators as brainstorming, think pair share, a teacher demonstration, or procedural task that students allow and repeat for themselves. This interpretation of explore often attempts to build on the excitement of the engage phase to get students to complete a task or hands-on activity on their own. This phase allows students to learn by doing.
Once they've explored, students attempt to explain what they have learned and experienced with help from the teacher. Once the students have explained the concepts in their own words, the teacher may clarify or add detail to the explanation. This phase is a teacher-led phase in which pupils assimilate new information and ask clarifying questions. For the explain phase to be effective, teachers should ask students to share what they learned during the explore phase. From there, students elaborate on their understanding, applying what they learned to new situations to deepen their skills. The elaboration phase of this 5E model focuses on offering pupils opportunities to apply what they learned. This allows them to gain a better knowledge, to reinforce new abilities. Teachers may assign students to prepare presentations or undertake more investigations. This stage allows pupils to solidify their knowledge before being evaluated.
In the final phase, students evaluate, reflecting on and providing evidence of their new understanding of the material. The evaluate phase should require students to reflect and incorporate their current understanding into a decision-making process as part of developing and testing understanding. Furthermore, the 5E model supports both formal and informal assessment, self-assessment, peer assessment, writing projects, and tests are also beneficial components of the evaluate phase.
Let us now move on to the usual lesson plan format, the traditional lesson plan. This type of lesson plan is the one that we always utilize, follow, and adhere to. This one is straightforward and suitable for a wide range of subjects. Traditional lesson plan primarily consists of fundamental components such as objectives, subject matter, procedure, evaluation, and assessment. The learning objectives are the first component of a traditional lesson plan. These are brief, clear, and specific statements of what learners will be able to do at the end of the lesson as a result of the activities, teaching, and learning that has taken place. They are sometimes called learning outcomes.
Next will be the subject matter. Basically, it includes the specific topic and how that relates back to the curriculum. Subject matter should include the sources of information or reference such as websites, textbooks, or some other materials. It likely also lists any objects or tools teachers may use to enhance their lessons. A traditional lesson plan includes a procedure. It is the step-by-step guide for the lesson and show the progress of the lesson. This means it tells what should be taught first and what should be taught second accordingly until the last activity of the lesson.
Evaluation in traditional lesson plan model refers to the process of assessing and measuring student progress, learning outcomes, and the effectiveness of teaching methods and materials used during a lesson or instructional unit.
Assignment would be the last component for traditional lesson plan. Basically, it is a piece of academic work or a task. It gives pupils the opportunity to learn, practice, and demonstrate that they have met the learning objectives. It shows the teachers that the students meet the objectives.
Let us now proceed to the third and final lesson plan format, the Australia lesson plan. This type of lesson plan is known for its clarity and accountability, making it suitable for subjects requiring specific learning outcomes. Its format comprises of objectives, strategy, lesson content, evaluation, and assessment.
The objective is the first component of the OSLEA lesson plan. OSLEA begins with a clear and measurable learning objectives, ensuring educators know what they want students to achieve.
The strategy would come next. This section outlines the teaching methods, materials, and resources to use. It provides a structured approach to instruction.
Lesson content would be the next component. The core of this lesson plan details what will be taught and how. This section often includes step-by-step instruction and content delivery.
OSLEA emphasizes continuous evaluation. It encourages teachers to assess students' progress during the lesson, ensuring the comprehension.
The OSLEA lesson plan ends with a formal assessment to measure whether students have met the objective. Most lesson plans generally consist of essential components such as objectives, requirements, resources, procedures, and evaluation techniques. Since every part of an effective lesson plan has an impact on the learning process for students, it is crucial to handle them by taking a strategic approach.
Building an assessment using Table of Specifications or TOS is critical for evaluating and assessing whether students learn.
A table of specification is a two-way chart which describes the topics to be covered by a test and the number of items or points which will be associated with each topic. Sometimes the type of items are described as well. A table of specification can be used to help teachers frame the decision-making process of test construction and improve the validity of teachers' evaluations based on tests constructed for classroom use.
The table that is flashing on the screen is a sample computation for the table of specification.
In the table of specifications, you will include the chosen topic as well as the learning outcomes. To determine the number of teaching hours per objective, we just simply estimate to get the allotted time of 5 hours. Next is the following column, which shows the percentage of allocation. The entered percentages must be 100%. To get the 6 in the first objective, divide 1 hour by 5 hours and multiply it by 100. The solution to the first objective will be 20. To find the number of items, multiply it by 1, but its decimal point, which is 0.01. There will be 6 items from the first objective. Repeat this procedure for each of the following objectives to obtain the result listed below. Following the collection of data, the next column will be the Bloom's taxonomy. Make sure that the objectives will be aligned in the appropriate level of taxonomy. There are 6 levels of cognitive learning according to the revised version of Bloom taxonomy. Each level is conceptually different, and the 6 levels are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. And for the last column, which is the item placement, you will going to rely on the number of items.
The purpose of this table of specifications is to identify the achievement domains being measured and to ensure that a fair and representative sample of questions appear on the test.
Every teacher needs a lesson plan for the students for better preparation, experience, or class competency. A teacher's lesson plans are required to help the students achieve the learning objectives in the given period. Having a lesson plan is exactly like having a clear and complete picture of how a learning journey will be facilitated. By doing so, your lesson plan ideas and strategies can help motivate your students to always strive for excellence.
Lesson planning is no easy feat, but with the essential components, you hold the keys to creating extraordinary learning experiences for your students. Remember, a solid foundation, clear objectives, engaging instructional materials, effective teaching strategies, assessments, and reflections are the building blocks of successful lessons. Always embrace the power of lesson planning is sprinkle in some creativity and watch your students soar to new heights.